good friend Samir alongside myself today. It's going to be a good one. The topic of the week is liquidity concepts. So, we're going to talk a little bit about what liquidity is, what setups you can take, things like liquidity sweeps, up or down, and things like that. I want to get Samir's take on that. But first of all, I want to know how all of you are doing, where you're watching us from. Remember to like the show and subscribe if you're not. And yeah, let's get into this. How you doing, Samir?
Hello, guys. Thank you so much again, Dave, for having me on our Futures platform or Futures channel. And, guys, thank you so much to you also. You are showing up every day. I cannot see the YouTube side, but thank you. Thank you to every one of you. And liquidity concepts, amazing concepts. I myself use these type of concepts here and there sometimes. So we are going to talk about liquidity concepts and what I believe and Dave believes what is the highest probability setups when it comes to liquidity.
Indeed,
So
indeed.
we're gonna start it in some time, and NYSE Open is gonna be in 29 minutes. So we have plenty of time to make our plan, and we can make our trade ideas. Idea number one, idea number two. So when that happens, we can take action. We don't have to second guess here and there. So that's why we come 30 minutes before the NYSE Open so that we can plan our trades, we can share our plan with you, or basically we can take you inside the mind of a trader. So I think
Yep.
that is very good. So
Indeed. I think what we should
yeah.
probably do is, we'll go into the liquidity concepts while we're, further into the session. But I
Mhm.
always like to see your take on on the market, your analysis.
Yes.
It's probably better for us to do a quick analysis, look at all the assets, and then once we get that out of the way, we can get into what liquidity is, and then talk about possible setups like liquidity sweeps and blow off tops and things like that. So yeah, let's you wanna go over US 30?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's
And I
go.
think with you I was discussing about the thing that I was testing. I think it was Victor, but anyways, I will explain it here now. So nowadays, what I am doing is I follow VWAP along with some supplier demand areas and sometimes liquidity concepts also. So I think with Victor, I was talking about this because when I was trying futures, I was not able to follow my 200 EMA strategy because the trade was the duration of trades was 2-3 days sometimes, and I didn't want it to do that in futures. So I was like, what can I do different? And the way I see the charts, I can put that thing in futures. So I came to this thing. Of course, this didn't happen like overnight. I was observing here and there, almost for 2 months. Now I am comfortable with this thing. And the thing is, I follow the recent demand or supply areas. Let me give you example of yesterday's trade on Fridays actually. So yeah, this was the Friday trade. If I'm not, oh no, it is Wednesday. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, this is the Friday trade. So what I do, I look at VWAP. If we are close to the VWAP, I will look for continuation moves. If we are away from the VWAP, I will look for some kind of reversal type of trade, at least to that VWAP, or maybe like 50% of the VWAP, or at least 30% of the VWAP. So this is the concept number one. And the entry criteria is I look for supply demand, which is never tapped. For me, this was the area which was never tested. So I was eyeing on some kind of buys around this area, and my target was near the VWAP. I go to the 1 minute time frame. I look for some confirmations, can be some rejection scandal, can be price, closing above the fair value gaps, or can be inverse fair value gaps. So that's how I am trading my futures account nowadays. Also, I have one account with our CFD side with the fivers. I'm testing the same thing on that. So target is 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5, sometimes 1 to 2 if the range is clean. So this was the recent resistance. So the strategy looks something like this. So now you know about the strategy, what I do, just overview of the strategy. So what we can plan today. For that, let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, on US 30, we are seeing VWAP is bullish. at least till this area. If we close under this area, of course, VWAP is also going to be bearish. So we can, I think I'm going to take a loss because I am planning for buys. My buys can be anywhere around these areas. If we close below, before the NYSE open, then I will shift to my buys. Then I will look for some kind of selling momentum. But as the impulsive leg is way too clean, I think maybe price will hold this level. Like I have this gray area. So the game plan for today is gonna be looking for buys around this area. Of course, I will not execute before the NYSE open. NYSE open I want, and then I want price to tap this area. And let's go to the 15-minute time frame. This is also the area, but this is way too big. And we have more confirmation on the 1 hour area. And it is clean. It is better than 15 minutes. So why not to rely on the 1 hour area? So this will be the area where I will be looking for buys. And we also have this untested wick. Okay. And these type of things do play out. It is just experience based. I cannot put name on this kind of concept. I don't know. There must be some kind of name, like this wick when price is never tested that. So in future we may can use this as support area in this case if we are bullish. So I will be eyeing on buys around this area. This is idea number one. If price pulled back around this area, what if price NYSE open, we rejected right from here and started to push higher, then what we can do? So we need to make plan for that also. For that, I will take a look at 4 hour time frame. Okay, 4 hour. We don't have much information. 2 hour, still nothing. We do have this area. Let me mark this area also. On the 1 hour, do we have any information? Very like choppy market, 30-minute. Okay, this candle, yeah, this candle is not having a wick. This candle on the 30-minute. So this area can be used as selling area. Let's go to the 15-minute for more confirmations. Okay, yeah, makes sense because from here the drop started. This was the last high from where market structure is just pushing the downside at least till here. So the idea number two can be if price rejected from here, NYSE pushed price way too high, and I would like to sell from here. Of course, 1 minute confirmations we need, and stop loss can be somewhere around that, and I will target that VWAP because price will be away from the VWAP. I am assuming that if VWAP is like this and we are away from the VWAP, so that's what I would like to you know make my plan for today. I have two plans for today: buying around this area or selling around this area. To be honest, I will prefer selling around this area a little bit more. Why? Because the momentum is to the downside. I am expecting some kind of pullback, and then of course little bit of test. And I don't know if price is gonna continue more lower or it can reverse. But my trade will be done around this leg, which I'm looking for. So my confidence level is a little bit more when it comes to sell, but we will also we will also look for buys. But here I will be a little bit cautious. I will be eyeing a little bit more on basically I will take more confirmations around this area. Am I missing anything? Do we have another area on the bigger time frame? Let's go to the 4 hour area. This is the demand area, which yes, it was tested. Let's go to the 2 hour. Okay, 2 hour, there is many wicks, very ugly price action. If I say 30 minutes, do we have any clean area which was never tested? No, we don't have anything. So I think this will be good area for me for sales, or we can eye on buys around this area. So let's see how price behaves around this area, these areas basically, and then we can take actions accordingly. Actually, this buy, I still don't have that much confidence. I think this buy will make more sense around here. If price liquidity everything and price pushed more lower, this buy makes more sense. And this candle is
Mhm.
also not having a wick. It gives me a little bit more confidence now. So I think I should avoid buys around this area. I should preserve my risk, and I should put the risk on table around this area because I feel more confident, or confirmations are more. We don't have a wick here, so let's cancel this area. Okay, so I have two game plans: buying around this area or selling around this area. Well, that's it for now.
Nice.
And yeah.
Yeah, interesting ideas here. I like the fact that you're playing around with VWAP because I definitely use VWAP a lot, and nice. I kind of agree with you with that second liquidity area. Not the first one you have there, but the second one that's lower there. I think we could have some
Yeah, yeah.
interesting price action there.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll definitely see what happens here on the Dow Jones. We're definitely seeing some strength coming in to the indices after that pullback that we had last week. So we're gonna have to
Mhm.
see, what happens, and keep an open mind once the market opens to see what we can get. I have DZ Matt Ryan in the chat. I want to say hello to him. What's up? What's up? Hey Justin, how you doing? Boxy Dave. They've been calling me Boxy Dave for the past week because I'm always drawing boxes for the opening range breakout.
Okay.
So I said I'm gonna have to make some T-shirts. Call them Box Dave or whatever. So we'll see if that happens or not. But I'm going to switch over to my screen really quickly so we can check out the other
Mhm.
indexes and check out gold and oil, etc. And then we'll see what kind of setups we can take. And then finally, we'll get into liquidity and what it is and the concepts. Samir touched on it briefly right a few minutes ago,
Yeah, yeah.
and we'll go back to that. All right. So I'm going to switch to Trading View for a second so we can take a look. Let's zoom out a little bit and look at the daily chart for the NQ. So this is a daily chart. We did a slight, actually, you know what? I want to take a step back. I want to start looking at the weekly because I want to show you guys this. So since last week, I thought we were probably going to roll over, right? And I thought that, okay, we got this indecision week last week, and we would probably go and pull back this week all the way to maybe half of the level here, the 28,500s, more or less. But we're seeing some strength. So we saw some weakness at Asia. I tried to short, got stopped out overnight. And we're going to see what we get today. But we just want to keep in mind that, hey, maybe this was the pullback we were talking about, and we might be just continuing to push higher. If the 2021 more or less bull market taught me anything, is that every time you get to a new high and you think you're going to pull back, it's entirely possible that you continue to push higher, right? So don't fight the trend. Don't fight the market too much. If you see clean setups, clean areas where you can enter short, especially intraday, totally fine. But if you're trying longer term holds, keep an open mind. And that's what we're seeing here. I thought that we would get follow through. We saw the sell off here. We pushed to the upside, tested the 29,400 area, push lower. We were pulling back here. This is where I shorted, thinking that we were going to get another leg because this looked very different when I shorted last night. But we're just pushing higher now. So let's zoom in to the 1 hour chart. So there we go. Let's look at the little scenarios that I have in mind. So we talked about these scenarios last week where, we could break higher or lower. We ended up breaking higher. We formed somewhat of a wedge here and went lower. We talked about this being a possible target. We did reach that target, had another leg here, and I thought once we pulled back here into the middle of this channel, and I think I shorted about here in this area. I can't remember exactly where, but I thought that this was going to be continuation and we would go to at least test this area. But that's not what we did. We broke back to the upside, and now we're getting out of the channel. So it is entirely possible when we open that we see rejection in this area here. Around this previous wick, it's possible that we push higher, get a wick, and continue lower. But I'm seeing so much strength here. Let's check out the volume. Not too much volume yet, but I'm seeing so much strength. This huge engulfing candle here that I want to be cautious on shorts. I'm not saying we're not going to short. I just want to keep an open mind. So this is the hourly chart. This is where we're at right now. Let's zoom into the 15. Again, push higher, pull back, push higher. So for a good 30 minutes, we've been pushing to new highs here. We're doing a slight pullback around this previous pocket of resistance. So we want to see what happens before we take positions. Now, Samir's points are very valid. I think that if we do get rejection around here, we can possibly, so if we pushed up, if we get rejection, we get a second leg here, pull back and push higher, we could go and catch some liquidity here and move on to go test lower levels. We'll see what we get. But I definitely want to keep an open mind to, okay, this might be, push higher, pull back, and then the second push towards the upside to go test higher support levels, maybe towards the 29,600s, which would be about 250 to 300 points from where we're trading now, which is entirely possible on the NQ. Let's get our volume profiles up so we can see that our point, the highest volume traded was around 29,200. So I'm guessing this is where we might find support if we pull back. We'll see. There's definitely liquidity around those 29,400s. So we'll see what happens there on the NQ. Let's switch to the ES really quickly. ES looking somewhat stronger than the NQ. We have the same downtrending channel on the ES, but we found support right above that old level that I had here, right? And we were trading way above the point of control. Whereas with the Nasdaq, maybe if I could, let me scale this down. This way you can compare, and I like comparing indexes because it gives you an idea of, okay, where is the strength? Let me switch this to the NQ. Futures, there we go. And we are on a 15-minute. So side by side, this is what we're looking at. Unfortunately, I don't have my channel here. Let me draw it again. More or less here. So we are, we've clearly broken out of the channel. And if I get my volume profiles, we could see that the volume profile, the highest volume traded on the ES is lower than the highest volume traded on the NQ, which is telling me that, okay, there's probably a little bit more strength here. So we'll see what happens. But definitely looking for similar setups. We've seen some rejection here on the ES right at that previous point of control. Let me just scale this and put it bigger. So yeah, we pushed higher. We're seeing this was the previous point of control. We're seeing some rejection here. So is this just a pullback where we push lower and then we continue to the upside? So we pull back to the upper end of the channel where we had previous support around this old low volume node. And I have to say this orange line right here, that's 7410, is pretty important because if I zoom out to a daily chart on the day, maybe you won't be able to see it there. Oh, what happened? My light just went out.
All
I'll fix it
right.
in a bit. Yep. You were going to say something, Samir?
No, I think it's fine. Are you on PC or laptop?
I'm on the PC. No, I'm just saying my lighting just turned off. I have two
Oh,
lights and this light is off. I'll turn it on in a bit.
all right.
Yeah, but it's fine. They know what I look like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
so this area I think is pretty important. This 7410 area, because that's where we took off from previously. This is where we had a previous pocket of resistance, and this is where we had, of support, and this is where we had resistance. So I think this might act as support again if we do pull back into that. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe we will hold higher around this pocket here, around 74, the 7420s, push higher, but we'll keep an open mind. Right before we go back to the equities, let's take a quick look at gold for all my gold traders. We did fail at the, let's put this on a daily chart. So we did fail around this this level here, the 40, let's say, let's call it 4680, right? And we're pulling back. We did test this liquidity area lower, right, before that pivot of last week. So we definitely want to see what happens today. Are we going to recover, right, this level, or is this just a pullback to continue and push lower? Now, if we zoom in, are we forming somewhat of a, like they like to call it, cup and handle formation, where we will pull back and push higher, or are we just going to get rejected here and push lower? We'll have to see, but we're definitely seeing some weakness here on the gold futures. And then switching really quickly to oil, I have this forever gap that I'm tracking, and I keep dragging it because to me it's an important level. If we're trading above it, we're pushing higher, and if we're trading under it, we're pushing lower. And we're trading right around that $100 level. So will oil catch a bid there? Well, we'll see, and we'll see follow through. All right, DZ Matt Ryan saying I think it will, but soon, boom. I'm not sure which asset you're talking about, Matt. Are you talking about gold or are we talking about oil? Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, I mean, until we have a clear resolution in Hormuz, we're going to continue to see volatility with crude oil. So we'll continue to watch it. We're pushing lower. If we continue to push lower on oil and get back into this box that I have here of the previous gap, we have another gap here. We've had many gaps on oil. Then the equities will definitely continue to push higher. And as we push lower here, we saw the strength. It's inversely correlated. If you look, and if I put them side by side and zoom in, right, as we're pushing lower on oil, we're pushing higher on the equity side. So we'll see what happens. And then if we look at the dollar, we've seen some strength in the dollar. We're seeing a slight pullback here. But overall, since May 26, where we formed that base, we've been pushing higher. So we will see what happens on the open. We are 7 minutes from the open right now, so we are looking. We have DZ Matt Ryan saying, I'm looking for the shorts in gold today, but I'm hoping.
Let's take a look at gold. Did you touch gold?
I touch gold really quick, but I'm always open to seeing what you think on gold.
All
So let me
right.
bring your
Let's take a
screen.
look at gold.
All righty. Your screen is up.
Okay, let me put my phone on silent. Okay. So gold is at very interesting level to me. Why? Because if you go to the daily time frame, we have swept this liquidity and we are trying to push back up. Either this is going to be a double bottom if you use support and resistance, if you use liquidity concepts, or this can be some kind of liquidity. I will mark this. Let's take a look. Let's mark some other color. Let's make it red. Okay, we have to go to the weekly time frame also to understand it in a better way. Okay, weekly support is here, very bearish candle. Maybe this week is trying to make a upper wick and try to go lower. I know we have swept these lows, but this momentum is way too huge, and this is also the support area. So I think we make and push higher and again come back lower. This is a open of the candle. Yeah. So if we flip, we make an reverse here. If you go to the daily time frame, yes, to me also this is making a higher wick going to the 4 hour. 4 hour. Okay, we are at the fair value gaps, but the problem is that I don't like to take sells right at the support area. It
Mm-hmm.
can happen. It can also use this as support area. So now there is a 50-50 situation for me. So if I want to take any trade, that will be scalp move. And right now, I think I am seeing a trade. If you go to the 2 hour, yeah, we are just breaking above this area and we can easily test this area. How much is this? It's like 11 points, $11. So if you re-break this high, I think $11 is the next mark. But as there is a little bit confusion because weekly time frame, very strong momentum, daily time frame, we are trying to take this liquidity. And definitely this is also some kind of inverted head and shoulder. Technical wise, it should go up. But the problem is that the momentum is way, momentum is to the downside. So we don't know
Mm-hmm.
if this momentum is going to continue or this pattern is going to continue. We can take the trade, yes, but I think we should not expect too much from gold. Maybe this is the area you can expect if you are planning for buys, or you can wait for some time, let it break out, let it settle down, let it break back in. That will be a fake out, and I think then you can follow that weekly candle. And here's the flip of the weekly candle. Let me mark it as yellow. So if weekly candle flip from here, I think the weekly low will be we make and tap to the weekly lows. So now if you want to focus on the like weekly candle, I think then it is gonna be a waiting game for you. But if you are a scalper, yes, there is a trade right now. I think on the 1 minute it will be a consolidation pattern. Yeah, there is a consolidation pattern. So if you see a breakout, that will be good. But we are way too away from the VWAP also. So I am not liking this idea of buys here. I think we can swap these highs and then you can plan for sells instead for a smaller leg. So that will be good. As we are away from the VWAP, let it go more away from the VWAP, and then you can use these areas as a reference. This area can be the area where you can plan for sells, or this area can be the area. So I think selling will be a little bit more good. It I will be more confident in selling in this case. I will be planning for sells around this high. Let it liquidate this high. You will have the confidence. Go to the 1 minute time frame. Look at some kind of consolidation or price slowing down. You can take the action. You can place your stop loss somewhere around here. You can target the VWAP. I think the chances of this move will be a little bit higher. And my confidence level here on gold is a little bit higher if I take sells around these areas. And of course, buys can also take place, but for that, I do want price to retest this area and re-break that area. So that will give me a little bit more confidence if we talk about buys on gold. Sells look a little bit more good. So I think if anybody is planning to enter on gold, I will look for some kind of sells around these areas, this high. But as market is about to open in 2 minutes, I have these lines here, red lines. I will be planning for sells around these areas. Green line, I will be planning for buys around these areas.
Nice.
Are we missing anything? Let me see. On the higher time frame, the higher leg, price is moving to the upside. So, do we have any areas which is looking way too clean? No, the on the US 30 we don't have much information, but NAS 100 is showing other story. Let me okay, this is the area
Yeah.
where I will be planning for buys on NAS. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, this is just a very simple demand area, and I am treating this as liquidity. And why I have this red line? Because of this Fibonacci. I have noticed 70% is the area which can be used effectively combined with the concepts that I know. And the concept that I know is liquidity, order blocks, or supply demand patterns, these three things. So let's see, selling around this area and buying around this area. NAS 100 is looking a little bit more cleaner. So I think, focus more on NAS today. US
All right.
30, it is, it is, yeah, US 30 is not clean because look at these areas, you know. I don't like these areas. If there was only one area I would have
Yeah,
considered this.
there's a lot of indecision around. I mean, the way the price was moving is a lot of indecision, a lot of fighting between going up and down. So
Yeah, exactly.
indeed. All right, we are
I'll wait for the
open.
15-minute range. All right, we are open, and let's see what do we get. Let me go to the NAS 100 because I think I'll be trading NAS today. I don't like US 30, so NAS will be my pair today. I'm just waiting for that green line. I'm seeing
Nice.
my platform here. Trading views, I think, a little bit delayed, like 5-second delay.
A little bit delayed. We
But
could switch to my
yeah,
screen if we want to see it live. We switch to my screen
yeah, yeah,
really
but yeah, we can
quickly.
do that. US 30 is
Um,
also setting up very nicely because we are away from the VWAP. I think that area
indeed.
makes sense. So yeah, let's see.
And
US 30.
today I can bring it here. I'm looking at the order flow a little bit. The ultra version of Black Arrow has something that looks like a book map. So this way we could see the orders. We could see a lot of stacked orders around the 29,300s. Not a lot of volume yet for people who play around and read order flow, where you see the darker red, orange. That's where limit orders are sitting. So we're seeing a lot of support here around the 29,300s. By the way, this is based on the 1 minute chart, so very fast action. And then if we liquidate through here, then the balls are showing the volume. So we're kind of looking at, okay, what's the price doing? Let's compare that to the chart. Just put this back up. Pushing lower. The question now is, are we going to find support around these previous pivots or not? We'll have to see. Do we see volume come in?
Let's take a look at gold because gold also might be okay. We are trying to re-break the highs, but I'm not comfortable in the bias, guys, as I mentioned. So I will be looking for
Gold. Let's take a look at gold.
the NAS bias on that green line that I mentioned.
Nice.
Yes, US 30 is also not bad. So let's see.
Let's see. Let's see. Whatever asset you feel is the best one based on your experience.
Hmm.
You know, we'll we like to take the trade that makes the most sense. Let's look at the ES really quickly. ES is holding the highs pretty well. It's looking more like a pullback right now than a sell-off. So we'll see. Let's just zoom in here. Justin saying he is the best student to date. Nice, nice, nice. Yes, I know you like the boxes. Let's see if we can get a box going in a few and kind of find what makes sense. While this is building, we can I can briefly start touching on the concept of liquidity. And put simply, basically, liquidity is how fast you can turn something into cash without losing too much money, right? So when we say an asset is very liquid, if we're going really, you know, zooming out and getting out of the markets, not yet talking about um, setups and stuff like that, how liquid something is how easily you can get in and out of it. So for example, if you take a house is not very liquid because it's not easy to sell a house. You can't just sell a house tomorrow, buy it today, sell it tomorrow. It's a very illiquid asset. Now, if you go into a car, for example, a vehicle, it's a little bit more liquid than a house, but not very liquid still. It might take you a week to sell your car and get all the paperwork, et cetera, et cetera. So how fast you can go in and out tells you how liquid the asset is. Now, if we go into, for example, a water bottle, a product like that, well, that is an asset that is much more liquid than a car because you could sell it a few minutes after you buy it. But if we get into um, equities and what we're trading here, futures, well, these are highly liquid assets. Why? Because we can get in and out by the second. And these days, with the internet, we could get the money to our accounts very fast, same day if you're trading with a broker or things like that. So these are very, very liquid assets. But when we talked about liquidity concepts, we're also talking about, okay, what is the behavior of the price and how easy is it for big money players to get in and out of their trades, right? And there are areas on the chart that will be more liquid than others, right? Where, for example, we have stops, we have limit orders. So there are areas where it's easier, sorry, to get in and to get out. And that's why I've brought the order flow chart here, because it helps us see, okay, where is it easier to get in and out of trades. So I've frozen this here, and I'll show you something really quickly. Everywhere you see red lines here, right, is where a lot of orders were sitting around the 29,300s. And that means that it was easier to sell because it was above where we were trading. So there was a lot of liquidity sitting at around 29,300. And if we look, price is pushing down. That means what? That means that we sold a lot around this area right here, right? So there was a lot of liquidity sitting around here and around here, right? And that's why we're pushing lower. Now, what we're looking for is liquid levels lower. Where is it easy to buy? So we found the areas where it was easy to sell. Now we're looking for, okay, where is it easy to buy? And let me get this going again. How are we doing, Samir? Are you seeing anything yet on your end?
I'm just waiting for price to get in that area, as I mentioned. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Let me get my thing going back again.
this is where we are supply and demand areas basically created by big players to, I guess, yes, you're right.
Exactly.
Just in.
Supply and demand areas are what we could call it another name, liquidity areas. So where is it easy for you to buy and sell? And these are areas of interest where we will see price reverse from usually, because price is basically trading at a discount. And we can illustrate that very well using a volume profile, because that's where we will see transactions occur and price turn away sharply from these areas. All right, let's take a quick look at gold before we go back into the concepts. So gold trying to hold.
Oh yeah, let's see.
You said you're gonna look for buys on gold or sells?
I will prefer more sells on gold,
Okay.
but if I want to buy, let me switch to gold actually. I will prefer it a little bit lower. I'm not comfortable entering around this area. To
Okay.
me, it is a corrective move. We are not seeing that impulsive nature right now. So if this was impulsive nature, then yes, it would have convinced me. But right now, I don't like the idea of buys on gold. We can get the impulsive leg now as we are in the corrective phase, but I'll let it pass when it comes to gold. I'm not seeing that perfect setup that I look for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll just not trade gold.
Nice. Gold, I always say that it's on and off for me on gold. Like you'll get some good setups, and then the where you buy at the right spot and this thing just takes off and continues. But when you don't find that clean setup, it will usually hunt your stops, like we like to talk about, before it takes off.
Yeah, exactly.
Gold has a tendency to consolidate a lot before it really does that move.
The corrective nature, that inverted head and shoulder I showed you, it makes sense for gold to go to the upside, but I also don't like the impulsiveness on the last weekly candle. So
Yeah.
maybe this is a pullback, and then the original move can happen later in the week, probably like Wednesday, Thursday.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think let it correct. If it is going in a corrective way to the upside, that will be more good. Then I will plan for shorts on gold.
Nice.
But as market is moving, so not seeing anything right now. Yeah, I have to wait.
Yeah, we have to wait right now. We're
Okay,
pushing.
let's know your views, chat, on gold. Maybe we are missing something. We are not perfect, you know. Maybe you are seeing the charts differently. So let us know in the chat. The 4500 area was great entry for gold earlier during Asian session. Let me see, 4500. Yes, it was amazing. But to me, it was a little bit aggressive, as you know, we was moving to the downside. Technically, it makes sense. There was a trend line. The structure was corrective, but still, you know, there was not that confirmed kind of analysis, or confirmed, or I'll just say the confluence. We was not having that much confluence. Right now, also we are moving very slow. So
Yeah, on
yeah,
gold we're moving slowly. I see that area Justin is talking about. Actually, that was a prior weekly close in an older session, that $4,500 level. And maybe thinking 4,500 is a whole number. Maybe you could have taken an entry there, but you would have had to have um, a lot of confidence in yourself to take that trade. It was hard to risk off of anything, basically based on what I'm seeing. We got Colin Rainwright. Welcome, welcome. Saying gold is very choppy. Stay out of it for now. Just my opinion. I respect that opinion.
yeah, you are right.
Um,
I have tried trading gold in this kind of market condition, and guess what? I have, not always, but like 80% of the time, I have taken a stop loss. So why
yeah,
not to just take the lesson from that result, you know?
indeed. Don't
Let's
fight
see
it.
how many views we have. We have 11 watching now. So guys, we need that 11 likes. We have only
Yeah.
4. I just liked it now. Now we have 5. Make sure it's 12 now. 12
At
likes we
least,
need
at
now.
least. Yeah, we have 11 here. We have about 20 on Twitter. So unfortunately, I can't see the likes on Twitter, but to everybody watching, help the channel out. We do this for you. We show you the real wins, the real losses. So we appreciate the likes. We appreciate the support. We're really selling off on the equities right now. About
Yeah, let's see.
177 points so far. So let's see. They've been trying to scale in a little bit. See some volume here. Stacked orders around 29,214. Let's see what we get. All right. So for everybody who likes my boxes, we're going to draw some boxes. It's just about that time. Switch to my screen for a little second. So we'll put our pink box as usual. Let me switch to here. So 15-minute chart. This is the opening range. We're about to close in about 20 seconds. So that's going to be the opening range. That's going to be our halfway point. Pink line. Right here. Let me move this to the other. All right. So now that we're selling off, we want to see, okay, where can we get a pullback? Because from the looks of it right now, the bias is short. Unless we see some strength come in, then
We are just retesting the VWAP. So if we close under the VWAP, that will be good for shorts according to me. But if we respect this VWAP, we start to go to the upside. Of course, 1 minute time frame will guide us.
yeah,
We will see some closes above the fair value gaps. I think I will enter some buys if we do that on the 1 minute time frame. If we don't have any fair value gap, if we print that now, that will be good.
nice.
Actually, if we can close above, let me see. Are you on the 1 minute time frame on NQ?
Yeah, I'm on the 1 minute time frame.
Oh
We
yeah,
want to see what
that
happens.
green candle. If we kind of closed above that, closes above that, that will be good.
If we close above that, that will be good. We saw some increasing volume here, which is a good sign. So we'll see what we get. I would rather see an impulse and a retest. This way it confirms a move. But we're testing previous lows right here. So it might just be the support area. So we don't know yet. We'll see. But possible setups, for entering long in my case is if we're able to, even though I didn't see it yet, but if we're able to push higher and then maybe retest, form a lower high and continue, that would be a possible setup where we would go and aim the upper end of the range. The only thing to be aware of is if you enter here, you have this whole area where we could see some sells, right? That would be the one possible long setup. If you want to wait for more confirmation, well, you wait for this to push higher, maybe retest this high and scale in here, risking the prior low and continue higher, right? These are the long setups. But again, anything is possible. So we have to have setups for the sell side. And sell side would be, break lower, a retest of either this level or this area here. You would enter on the retest and aim for the lower end of the range, right? If you get the retest here, you're looking for the retest and for us to go test lower, or we push higher and go oscillate lower. So we'll see what we get. I'm seeing a lot of stacked orders around the 29,200s. So we might struggle a bit. We'll see. Let's look at the ES really quickly to see what it's doing. We're seeing more aggressive buyers on the ES. It's holding up pretty well. So that might be a hint that buyers are trying to control this down move. Let's look on the NQ. Okay. Looking good here. Just check something really quickly. I didn't look at the Dow.
It
Oh
is
wow,
shooting
the Dow,
higher, so
Dow's holding up
we are
pretty
just
well.
having a Mhm, exactly having a fresh breakout. I think it can continue higher,
Yeah.
and yeah, let's see. But me personally, I'm eyeing on NAS 100 buys. I want some kind of impulsiveness to the upside.
Hmm.
Maybe one big bullish 5 minute candle is also fine. Some kind of engulfing candle after this candle closes. So that will indicate that VWAP is holding. So I will look for buys. But if I didn't print, if I didn't see that, then yeah, that's it. That's it from my side.
Okay, so if you don't see that, you won't take any setups for now.
No, now there is a 5 minute open. If this closes like bullish engulfing,
Hmm.
or maybe above that fair value gap, like we have only 5 minute, very small one. So
This one,
that will be my entry signal. Yeah.
like this one right here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If we close
Okay.
above this 5 minute candle, I will place my stop loss below that candle or this low. I will target the highs. So that's what I'm looking at right now. We can also reject from there, then there will be a
Yeah,
different story.
it's entirely possible. Um, we could see. The thing here is if you're entering a trade, you're basically paying to find out whether you're right or wrong. Right now, we're trading right below the point of control on the Nasdaq. So if I switch to, so we're seeing some good buying here, and I just entered along on another account. Yeah, I just entered along, risking the prior lows for a quick scalp. And then if we get a retest, then I might add. But that's a good engulfing candle here now. The thing we have to be aware of is, okay, is this a retest of this prior area here
Yeah, we
or
actually we
not?
have 3 minutes left for this 5 minute to close. Maybe I can look at 3 minutes. That will give me some kind of okay. Only 3 minute also we have the fair value gap, so I can rely on 3 minute also. We
Hmm.
have 2 minutes left for the candle to close. I have to see how this candle closes, and then I will take the decision.
Could you show it
Okay,
again? Sorry, I wasn't showing your screen.
yeah. Here we have a small fair value gap in 1 minute and 55 seconds. This candle closes. If it closes somewhere around here, can take my trade. Stop loss can be somewhere around here. TP will be somewhere around here because the way I'm seeing it, VWAP is bullish. We took out this low. We filled that 15-minute fair value gap. We are also kind of respecting this demand area. So
Hmm.
makes sense. So I will take a buy here. Can keep my take profits around this area also, which was untested area. So definitely makes sense. Uh, yeah, US 30. Yeah, I'm not interested in US 30. NAS, I will be looking at 3 minutes time frame again. Okay, 1 minute left, 1 minute and 15 seconds. I want this candle to close similarly like this. So that will be good. I can
Let's
even keep my
see.
stop loss a little bit below because we do have 1 to 1 range. So yeah.
All right, let's see what we get. Started scaling into a trade. My entry is
All
29,220.
right. 29 to 20. Okay. So you are on longs on NQ?
Yeah, I'm in a long on NQ around 29,220,
Yeah, makes
which
sense.
is right
We are
here.
on the same
Risking
page or
risk.
same trade now.
Looks like we're usually on the same
Yeah.
page.
Yeah. Let's see now. Let's
Let's
see what
see.
color is my arrow. Okay, it's white. We need to make it green.
It's neutral.
We need to make it green, guys, so that
Okay.
we.
Actually, stop loss is below this wick for me. So let's see.
All right, we closed. So I think if we break of this high, I'll be in the trade. Stop loss will be here. Let me place it on my MetaTrader because CF decided we use MetaTrader.
Yep.
So yeah,
No problem. No problem. I just want us
here
to
we break those
hold
up.
to
Yep,
hold these levels here.
I can even target this area. All right, I'm in the trade.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's see now.
Let's get
TP
it.
is around that area, that supply which was untested. Makes very much sense. This supply was never tested. So I think we can get to that area. Yes. Okay. Starting to push higher. So yeah, we
Let's
need
get it.
that same volume. We are also at the NYSE open. So we can expect the good volume basically. So yeah.
We're looking good so far. I'm not seeing a lot of orders, of stacked orders just yet. So let me just pull this up right here. So I'm looking at so I'm not seeing a lot of stacked orders, so a lot of red lines above here. So this is looking constructive for us. Well, now they're showing up. So around 29,300 right here. So hopefully we could just push through these and see, continue. What I don't want to see is a lot of stacked orders here. I'd rather see them lower. We'll see. All right. Something to keep in mind. I wasn't showing it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, what I was saying is around here, around those upper levels, I don't want to see too many red lines. So basically stacked orders. This way we could push higher. Because you see, when we get to these red lines, sometimes we reject and push lower. Now we're seeing them. These are sell orders.
Oh,
You
that
see
is
them?
very tricky screen. I have never seen it.
Yeah, that's basically the version of I don't know if you've
It's
heard of
order flow chart, if I'm not wrong.
bookmap.
If
Yeah, it's
I'm
order flow, and then the bubbles
Oh,
are
okay.
kind of the volume.
That
So
is very tricky thing I'm seeing right now.
yeah, so that allows me to see basically the flow of the orders. So if it's light
Okay.
colors, there's not a lot of orders. If it's heavy, so you see we tapped into this. I gotta zoom out. We tapped into this area here that had a lot of red, so we pushed back from it because there was a lot of selling here, right? So we pushed back. Now we want to see, can we, can we find support where you're seeing the where it's getting darker here? That's basically where orders are lining up. Are they going to bid it up or not? And then the bubbles, I want to see the bubbles get bigger with volume. Okay, wrong side. Now that it's getting yellow, that means it's getting darker, which means sellers are entering.
Okay.
So it
That's very
allows you to
interesting.
kind of get a feel for the market,
Okay.
right? And it's available on Black Arrow, but that's the ultra version, not the one. Because when you sign up with the fivers, you get the first version, the level one, and you don't get that immediately. You have to subscribe to get that one.
Okay. So far, NAS has printed that bullish engulfing candle on the 5 minute.
Yeah,
So technical side, it is looking promising.
it
But
is.
as anything can happen. It is trading. The thing that you can do is control your risk, and my risk is under 1%, around 0.7%, 0.7.9%. So yes, I can risk that much. I am comfortable uh, being in that bracket, 0.7% risk. That is okay.
Nice. If we
Okay, let's
use
take a
the
look at.
ES as a reference,
Okay.
so let me switch my screen. I think the ES is looking interesting because the ES is actually stronger, and I probably should have taken my trade on the
Mhm.
ES. But the ES is looking much stronger. The ES tested that level here. So, we pulled back, we tested the upper end of this level here, which totally makes sense. Now we're pulling back. All we want is for us to hold, above this previous consolidation here and hopefully continue higher. That would be, if you're using VWAP, maybe one standard
Mhm.
deviation above VWAP. So if that's your VWAP here, one standard deviation is
You have
maybe
to
around
show your
here.
screen
Oh,
because I cannot see it.
sorry.
Yeah, now it's fine. Now it's fine.
I've been talking. All right, let me do it again. So yeah, we pull back in the ES, on that drive up, we were much more bullish than on the
Mm.
NQ. We tested the
Yep.
upper end of the range. So now that we're pulling back, we want to hopefully stay above, this previous consolidation here and continue to push higher. And I think that would be more or less, I'll check on TradingView, but that would probably be more or less around one standard deviation above VWAP, which would be that. And hopefully we can hold this area and push higher, because we're seeing weakness on the Nasdaq, which is not entirely a problem. So this is where we want to kind of hold.
Actually, the bigger time frame candles like 30 minutes, 1 hour, 15 minutes, all are closed now. So we need to
Mhm.
respect the lows if we have to continue to the upside. So let's see.
Yeah, we need to respect it. This is the make or break area for me. Like
Yeah,
if
exactly.
buyers are not able to
Mm,
hold here, then we break lower.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, looking at the order flow, I'm seeing a lot of red, so it's not looking constructive just yet, but we'll see. We'll see what we get.
All right, for me, it will be my first and last trade of the day. So yeah, I will be out if I hit the stop loss. I will be out if I hit the take profit. I think that is the main thing that keep me good. I think, yeah. Mentally
Yeah.
also, my PNL also stays good, if I follow this plan that I have for myself. If I break this plan, although the setup can be like perfect, it can hit every confluence,
Hmm.
still I will have a negative equity curve, because I don't know if I'm not able to take the right decisions after my first trade. There is something psychological, but
Hmm.
that's why I've made my plan this way: one trade a day, TP stop loss, whatever it is, I have to take it. So
Nice.
right now, it is of course not going in my favor. So if I hit the stop loss, that's it for me. I'll just end the day here. I don't wanna lose more, because I have seen, even though if the setup is amazing, we have every confluence, still my performance is not the best when I try to take the second trade
Okay.
after my first loss. So I'll just take the message from my trading journal that I should not take trades after
Mhm.
my first loss.
I totally respect that. I think it's a great show of discipline. I think you basically, one has to find what works for them, and I totally like the fact that, hey, for you, for your system, one trade a day is what works. And I
Hmm.
know you've said also in the past, I don't know if it still holds true, that you don't trade on Tuesdays because Tuesdays were not your best days. And everybody knows you're a very profitable trader, so I think you found something that works for you. And I think it's great. I think
Yeah.
I totally respect that. And
The Tuesday thing that you just mentioned, it was applicable on my 200 EMA strategy. But this supply demand strategy that I'm testing with VWAP, I am yet to figure out the worst days.
okay.
So let's see how it goes. But the
Nice.
plans stay the same. The fundamentals of my plan, VWAP, supply demand, impulsive leg, and all these things. And the main thing, which is one trade a day, this stays the
Mhm.
same. Rest I can optimize my plan here and there with time. So let's see.
Nice. I like it. I like it. And because of you, I reduced my trading for a while to two trades a day, and that worked pretty well
Mhm.
there. And then I got back to my old habits of taking more trades. So I think I'm going to switch back and kind of,
Yeah.
because last month my performance was not as good as it should have been. It was basically a break even month. So I think I'm going to just,
Yeah. Last month
let
was also
less
not good for
trades.
me.
Yeah, less trades, less headaches. And I've slowed down already. I'm taking much less trades.
Mhm.
Um, and more cleaner trades,
Yeah,
more,
exactly.
trying I'm basically trying to catch more trends, which is why very often I'm letting the price build and letting it show me what it wants to do, because I don't want to just take a quick scalp. I want to get into a trade where I can add, and really capture a decent amount. So yeah, I like it. Less trades, more size, maybe. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense. I have tried this, and it has worked out for me actually. So, but as last month was not really good, so my confidence levels was not that high, or that, you know,
yeah,
that
plays with your
basically that
psychology.
high. Yeah, so that's why I was not that confident that I can increase my risk or the normal risk that I was taking. I was
Hmm.
comfortable with 2% risk on my funded account with Fivers.
Hmm.
So, but that losing streak or that losing month, it got me to rethink. So, yeah, here I am. I'm using now 0.7% risk, keeping it under 1%.
Hey, whatever works for you. You have to adjust. When you
Yeah.
have confidence, you reduce the risk, you reduce the size. At the end of the day, what we're doing is managing risk. Limiting, assuring that we can survive, live to trade another day. So that's what we're doing. We are definitely pushing lower. I got stopped out on my long, so we are waiting.
My
Uh,
stop loss was just a little bit lower, probably like let me just mark it exactly. It is like I think 10 points lower than this current low.
okay.
It was logical actually. If you go to the 1 minute time frame, you will see why it is there.
Oh, perfect. Hopefully
This
that
area,
keeps you in the trade. Yeah.
this area was never tested. So I was
Uh-huh.
like, let me keep it below this. So now it is a make or break level for me.
We're
If
definitely seeing
we
buyers enter here, so that's good. What's up, Tay Keith? How you doing? Welcome back. What are you trading today? Sorry, I like to
Keith,
say
my
hello
friend,
to the chat.
hello, how are you? No, yes, we should do that. Oh wow, we are seeing a very volumetric candle here. Are we
Yes,
gonna
that's
hold
good.
this or are we gonna reject from here? We have to find out. I
This
followed
is
my plan. I know if I do this thing that I mentioned, one trade a day, can be any strategy actually, supply, demand, or the story should make sense to you. And
exactly.
the psychological part can be managed with this thing. So I think, yeah, it should be good. You will get the results in a quickly actually if you follow this thing.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. We are definitely holding well here. We had a very nice, I'm looking at the ES, very nice price action there. We held above the levels that I talked about. Let me just quickly switch and I'll go back to your screen. So,
Yeah.
we
Yep.
were talking about on the ES, we needed to pull back. We pushed higher, pulled back here. We saw a lot of buyers step in. So hopefully, we're holding above this previous cluster here. So we had a cluster of buying here right above VWAP. We pulled back. This cluster is holding slightly above this line. So this looks pretty constructive for continuation. If we switch over to the NQ, we saw impulsive buying here. I just hope that this is not short covering and it's actual buyers stepping in. We saw the volume increase here, so we'll see. I got stopped out on my first long, so I'm just gonna wait for price to build because my stop was right below this level here at 29,129 actually. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
so
that is
we'll see. Now,
very tricky.
no, it's no problem. And since the topic here is liquidity, this is actually what we call a liquidity sweep, right? So what will
Hmm.
happen is you will have, like it shows here, a pullback, an impulsive move to the upside, sorry, and then a push lower to find, you know, buyers at a discount. Why? It's exactly because of what I did here. A lot of stops are here. So what will happen is, you know, the big money will be looking to enter their positions here because they know that a lot of stop orders are just standing here. And as I was looking at the order flow, I could see that the prices were much darker here, which means there were a lot of sitting orders around those 29 120s. So if we talk about liquidity sweeps, what is a liquidity sweep practically? Well, let's say for example, there's a shoe store, right? And they're selling shoes at, I don't know, just let's just give a number, $100 a pair. And then they give a discount and then they're selling them at 50% off at $50 a pair. Well, what they could do is, hey, this Friday we're offering you, an extra percent off of this 50%. So maybe they're going to sell the shoes for 45 bucks instead of 50 just to reel people in. Well, that's what's happening in the markets here, right? So your shoes probably being sold here at the $50 discount in comparison to the $100 they were selling at here. And then they push up. We see a lot of buyers, but we didn't see enough buyers. So we pull back and we say, hey, instead of 50 bucks, just for today, we're selling them at 45. Well, what would happen is, man, everybody will rush in because they're like, that's a pretty good deal. It was 100, now it's 45. It was 50, now it's 45. Let me go buy it before it goes up again. And that's what we're seeing here. So that's what we would call a liquidity sweep. Takey saying looking for a NAS trade, a long formation of a W added confirmation. Indeed, that is a
Yeah, makes
pretty
sense.
definitely clean pattern here. I'm thinking of entering long again.
All right. I think today I have to work a lot because I have one project with the fibers localization. So I have to get it done by today. But we are trading here, so I should not talk about that.
We have
But
actually, since you're saying project, we have a lot of good stuff coming, a lot of surprises coming for the whole community. We're gonna have stuff this week, we're gonna have stuff next week, and we're definitely gonna have a lot of interesting stuff next month. So get ready, guys. You're gonna be happy, you're gonna be pleased because there's a lot of surprises coming. And there's a big surprise that we've never done before that probably Samir is aware of, but we can't talk about it yet. So, you know, locked mouths. We're
I'm
just
not. I'm
saying,
not aware about it.
get
I'm
ready.
not
I'm
aware
sure
about
you're
it.
you're aware. You're aware.
Maybe. All
Anyway,
right,
but
guys.
a lot of good
So
stuff
gold is
coming.
very choppy. Somebody saying colon. Yeah, gold is choppy, and Keith is looking for longs on Nas. I am also looking. Actually, I'm in the trade. So if you see your trade idea getting, or basically your plan, if trade is according to your plan, just take it. Let's take a look at the US 30. It is actually doing nothing.
Let
I don't
me
like
switch,
US 30.
let me switch your
So
screen.
all right, US 30, we are just pushing higher. We broke this trend line. So I think this can be a liquidity move. We sweep these lows, and now price is finding its feet. We can trigger these highs also. Yeah, we have just taken support from this area. I think it was 4 hour demand area. Yeah,
I
look at this
re-entered
demand area. Price
long.
wigged into it. Okay, you have re-entered. Let's see how it is performing.
I re-entered,
Yeah,
yeah, a
right now
little bit before. Man,
rejecting from the trend line.
we're uh we're rejecting where I didn't want us to reject actually.
Let's take a look at Nas. Yeah, we are rejecting the 1 minute trend line. I was also seeing that.
Yeah.
This trend line. We want oh, we want price to break this. Then we can expect price to go higher. Let me delete this tool here. Yeah, we made a double bottom. It should break this. 1 minute left for the 5 minute candle to close. 5 minute is closing. Yeah, this also closed bullish engulfing. We need to push higher now. Yeah,
Yeah, the fact that we're
now
struggling
it is a
so much is
consolidation.
not very convincing, but we'll see. We just have to be patient
Yeah,
and
our job
find out.
as a trader is done. We analyzed, we made our story, we executed on it. So now it comes to wait, we have to wait.
Yeah.
Let's see if
Uh,
analysis is. playing in our favor, or taking a stop loss. Of course, we are traders. We don't want to hit a stop loss, no matter like where you are in the journey. Everybody likes profit. We
Of
also
course.
like it.
Especially
So
not
yeah,
live. I mean, yeah, we show the reality of trading, and I'll take stop losses live, but I don't enjoy it, guys. I don't like getting stopped out at all, and I don't like getting stopped out live.
yeah.
So yeah, but we're definitely seeing resistance, or where I
All right.
expected us to see resistance. So hopefully we can decisively break out of there. Just gonna switch to the screen a little really quickly. So we have our okay, nice. This is looking constructive now.
Yeah, we
We
are also breaking the trend line that I had. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry I
good.
interrupted you.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. We pulled back, we formed the opening range. We had about 170 points, which is great for an opening range. We touched the 50% of the range and pushed lower. This is totally fine. I entered the first long here thinking we would get a higher low, but that didn't happen, so it got stopped out. We saw an impulsive candle here with volume, so this is a good sign. This is constructive. We held above VWAP, and as we pulled back a little bit here, this is where I re-entered my long, risking this prior low. And now this 50% is the area I wanted us to break, right? So I need us to get a decisive break above here, hopefully, for this long to work out. Otherwise, well, that will mean that we can't find the strength to push higher, and will probably oscillate to the downside. Now, I just want you guys to be aware, very often on the Nasdaq we will get a huge block order as we're pushing up. So I expect that even though this works, once we get to these levels we might see a huge block order and a push lower to retest the upper end of these ranges. So anybody who's holding longs, don't panic if you see
I think
that
you
block
was talking
order.
about this concept that day
Yeah,
where you have noticed some kind of volume in that particular time zone. I
yeah.
forgot
It
the
happens
exact
between
time.
between 10 and 11 o'clock. We have the London close
Okay,
at
yeah.
11 o'clock Eastern. So it might be, big players that were playing overnight that are getting either in or out of positions. And if we're pushing up, sometimes we'll see a huge block order, or if you're pushing down, you'll see the reverse. But it usually happens
Okay.
between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. It's not an exact time, but I've just seen it happen very often. And then you see that huge push, and then you get a wick, and then it goes the opposite way. So many times, you're, especially if you're a newer trader, you might panic, thinking, oh no, let me get out of trade, or maybe flip my trade. But sometimes
Hmm.
it's not the case. So we'll see. But definitely seeing some selling pressure here. So they're making us work for this long.
Yeah, it is very consolidating. We are under the trend line now, which I don't like. Are we
Yep.
gonna break this trend line again, or we are gonna reject from here completely? Going to the 5 minute time frame, not looking good. We took up this high. We are using this as some kind of resistance area. So now let's see if this candle is using this area as resistance, which right now it did actually, it is doing that. So we need to break this area. It is after math of doing taking the trade actually. We are making stories as price is moving, but the original buys, so I'm keeping it live. I just took a buy. So we want price to break this. If it rejected from here, that is,
Yeah, right now
it's
it's looking
painful,
like a
but we have
false
to we have to take
false
a
breakout.
stop loss, if it happens.
Yeah,
But again, I personally do this thing. If price is going against me, I get ready for a stop loss also. So I talk to myself
nice.
psychologically what I'm gonna do if it triggered the stop loss. Am I gonna trade after this? Am I gonna be sad? I'm gonna be impulsive after that. So all these questions I asked to myself, and thankfully I didn't took a stop loss like right after my entry. So that gives me some kind of time to do some kind of self talking. So right now, I did enough self talking. And with you guys also, I was discussing the same thing. If we took a stop loss, it's fine. So these kind of things help me to take that action when it is needed. For me right now, it is not taking trade after a loss.
Nice.
So
I
yeah,
like the fact that you said that you talk to yourself. It's good. It's good that you're kind of either hyping yourself up or calming yourself down, whatever
yeah.
you're telling yourself in that moment. I think it's good. It's good because it reduces the impulsiveness. I like
Yeah,
it.
for me, it is very important. I've been a very impulsive trader, and
I can
I have
relate.
made money that way also, and I've lost a lot of money also.
Yeah,
With that nature. So now I'm like, let's do it a little bit slow. It's okay. We're gonna make a little bit less RR, or maybe a little bit less percent, but that will keep my mindset healthy. I will not see huge equity, huge drawdowns, if I put it that way. So I can manage that. But managing that huge drawdowns, huge uptrend or huge downtrend in your journey, that is very hard. So I think this kind of practice everyone needs to do when it comes to trading. But right now
indeed.
we are holding this area, rejected from bottom. Little bit of hope now as we are doing some kind of rejection candles here. Maybe we can continue higher. So now we have to wait. There is literally nothing is in our control now. The only thing we can do is wait. That's it.
That's it. Take Keith saying, waiting for it to break through the opening range, then look for an entry. That is totally valid. I think it's valid. You just need to be aware that I'm going to show you something really quickly. When you're in the trade, you have to be aware. You have to have various scenarios in mind. Um, so once we, say we push, we pull back here, say we're able to break higher. Remember, we're this cluster is an area of possible people taking profits. So if say we break here, expect a pullback. It might be a pullback to the high of the opening range. It might be a pullback to the 50%, above these wicks if it does that. So just keep that in mind for your long. Don't panic. Plan your trade and keep in mind what's happened before. Always look left. I have a I have a checklist that I use sometimes when I'm trading, and it says look left, look left. Left meaning look at what happened before. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. We're trying to hold based on Samir's analysis, which I agree with. So far, it's looking like a false breakout. Um, false break of trend. So we'll see what we get. If I switch now to, using the volume profile, we could see that we're trading under it, which is not a great sign. We were just trading above it. So it means that the market is really disagreeing here and entering a period
Actually, 1 minute is not bad actually.
of,
I just saw the 1 minute.
let's look
We are
at it.
seeing some falling wedge type of thing which can break to the upside. So I'm
Yeah.
seeing some kind of hopes here, but it can also, break to the downside. But as a trader, as we are in the buy, so we are trying to find every reason for price to go to the upside. So this is me
Indeed.
finding a reason. So
If
yeah,
it doesn't work today, it's just because we didn't put enough arrows, enough green arrows. So let me add them quickly to the chart.
yeah, I think that
Add
is
them
very
quickly
needy.
here. We need it.
Let's
There we go.
let's put the 1 minute time frame. All right, I'm seeing this type of thing, which is looking good actually. We are squeezing, and we can have a bigger breakout, I think. That is again me convincing. I'm being a little bit biased here that it will go to the upside.
I
Why?
get
Because
it.
we are in longs. But it's
I
okay if
get
it
it.
goes to the downside. It doesn't mean that we will take sells, but it is that's that's it.
Well,
So yeah.
I didn't really have a really strong short bias, and I'll tell you why. It's based on the behavior
Okay.
of the initial move. Let me just switch to my screen really quickly. Of course, it might be the shorts, taking their time building to push lower. But I, in my opinion, was okay. We're selling off here. If we were going to go short after that impulse to the downside here on the 1 minute, I expected follow through and then a pullback here. And if we saw that pattern, then I would have entered short. Why? Because we would have been trading below the opening range, after the first 15 minutes. But right now we are kind of inside the box, like I like to say. We're trying to hold. So maybe we need to find buyers again lower around this 1 minute fair value gap, like you guys like to talk about around here. So
Mhm.
maybe that's where buyers are sitting, and that's where we're going to push up from. We'll see. If that doesn't work, then it's probably going to be, you know, um, better to look for shorts, but we'll see. Anything can happen. Let's just we made our decision, we took our trade, and now we wait. Time is your best friend in the market, says Warren Buffett.
All right, we are seeing, yeah, that pattern
Yep.
consolidating right now. Let's see now. What do we get?
Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get.
US 30. Okay, US 30 is also printing that kind of consolidation, which may can break to the upside.
If we look at the ES, we're not looking at the Nasdaq. The ES is looking very constructive because it's holding higher and it's been forming higher lows, right? We have this little ongoing trend here, right? We've been making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So the question is, okay, we pulled back, we tested this previous resistance here, we pulled back again, held above this, we pushed higher, we formed kind of, we found sellers again at these previous two pockets. So the question is, can we hold above this little trend here, which would be one standard deviation above VWAP, and push higher? If not, then what will likely happen is we push lower. So we push lower, we retest this little consolidation here, and then we go find levels lower. Whatever happens, happens, and we'll trade accordingly. So we're testing the lower end of the range again. And like we say, shorts have entered the trap.
Yeah, I think now it's tricky.
It
I
is tricky.
I don't see anything
So
happening on our side. If we reject this area, good. If we didn't, then I have to take a stop loss here. Then what I can do? That's it. I'll be ending the day here
yeah,
with 0.7 percent loss, and it's okay, manageable. Not too huge of a drawdown. I will see on my equity. So yeah,
let's see what we get. I'm just looking at the order flow here, mostly moving sideways. I
can
don't
we
see
shift time
huge
frames
volume yet.
on this chart, on this order flow chart, or
Not
it is gonna
yet.
do
There's
like this
still
only?
work. No, for now it's on the 1 minute. I think you can modify the trade sizes. So you could put large trades only. This way you'll see less smaller trades. Because right now it's based on the size of trades and the volume.
Okay.
But it's not fully developed yet. They're still working on it. That's why I'm testing it out. Seeing some orders sitting around 29 180s, and we're definitely pushing lower right now.
Yeah, now it we don't have any confluence. That was the only hope for me. That pattern, we didn't hold that. So now, yeah, it's tricky now.
It's tricky. We'll wait.
Again, will be the end of the trading session for me. I'm about to hit a stop loss almost there. So yeah, didn't
Here we
play it out
go.
in our favor today. Yeah. Let's
But yeah, the interesting thing, I know somebody was asking about W patterns and M patterns. You know, you can't depend on just the patterns because here you could have seen two ways. You could have seen the long side and the sell side, right? Because you're getting two bottoms right here, and you're also getting two tops. You know, if I could turn this, but you're getting two tops right here, right? So you look left and you're like, ah, okay, we're selling off, so maybe I should sell here. But guess what? If you continue to look left, well, we've been trending up, so I should buy here. So it's a tricky one. It's not 100% clear this morning. You just have to keep an open mind. Now, I've taken two trades so far, 0 for 2, and we continue to push lower. I just want to look at the higher time frame and find out where we stand. So let's take a look here. Let's go on the daily. Yeah, it looks like we could possibly be, curling, forming somewhat of a top here to pull back, maybe for the next few days. We'll see what we get. Let's look at the weekly really quickly on the Nasdaq. So the week open green, we're still slightly green here. So is this the week where we see the pullback and we push to maybe the halfway point there? Time will tell. We'll see. But we're definitely pushing lower on the indices today. So now, in order for me to enter short, because I've gotten stopped out again, I need to see somewhat of a pullback and then go test lower.
I'm also about to get stopped out in. I think it will be stopping me out in about 10 seconds because we are not getting rejection from that area.
Let's see. Let's see what we get. Let's be patient. All right, let's looking at this here. Well, we're definitely pushing lower. Looking at the ES. All right, ES definitely broke the trend here. So sellers are definitely in control.
All right.
Will we see follow through?
So where is my chart? Okay.
Let me get your chart here. All right, guys, letting us know in the chat. Did you take any trades? I know Tay Keith was looking for a long above, but now we're trading below the opening range. So are you looking for, or did you catch a short?
I think there is a problem in trading view. Sometimes it doesn't open. Let me take a look at other chart.
No problem.
Okay, now it's fine. Uh, yeah, that VWAP didn't hold it. That area didn't hold it. So I would have taken this stop loss even if I was following my pattern breakout strategy. Because to me, if I would have taken this trend line breakout, I would have entered here. Or if I would have taken a risk entry, I probably would have entered here.
Yep.
So according to this supply demand strategy, also, it was a stop loss. So for me, it is a stop loss day and it is Monday. Let's see what this week is gonna give me. Right now, you can say I am down like 1 hour. So let's see.
Nice.
US 30, nothing. And yeah. Do we have anything on gold? Let's take a look at gold.
Gold also pulling back.
Uh, Again, my
Yes, pulling
charts are
back.
not working. Okay. 15 minute. Yes, as I mentioned, that high was very tricky for longs. Now we are pulling back. If we now re-break the high, I think that will be good for longs. And I will not enter there. So I will just watch charts here and there now. And yeah,
So you watch charts and start planning for tomorrow, or
I'll just see the charts. If actually you're not, if I was gonna say if I see super clean setup, then maybe I can take a trade. But I'll
so do
just
you
take a
take
look at.
one trade per account or one trade in general? Because I know some people, and I've done that. Like I have different accounts for different ideas, different setups, and some accounts I'll trade more often than others. Do you do that too, or is it one trade in general, or is it one trade per account?
In journal, it should be one trade a day. I can
Okay.
take either that same trade on multiple accounts,
Okay.
or I can take that trade on one account. So that is my rule. So if I try to do something apart from this, then I am bound to lose. I have noticed this, so I should not take a trade after this loss. Even if that is a winning trade,
Mm-hmm.
but still, that built a wrong expectation in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is a losing trade, I still can recover that loss. But this way, I think my performance is not that good. So I will just not take any trade after this.
Okay.
Yes, I will
I
look at
get
the
it.
charts tomorrow now. So this is just, you know, again, I'm talking to you guys also. I'm doing self-talk also. So that's how I make up my mind what I have to do after taking a loss. So I have made up my mind now. While being in the trade, also I was making up my mind, and now also. So I will not be entering any trade now. So tomorrow I will do the same thing, and yeah, let's see what we do on tomorrow.
Okay.
As this is also strategy giving me a little bit of positive risk to reward, sometimes 1 to 2 also. So I think win rate can be a little bit less. Also, I can still manage that. So yeah, that will be good. And I
Yeah.
have run a simulation also actually, where I was randomly taking trades based on coin flips because I was curious. Either
Mm-hmm.
our psychological behavior is causing the drawdowns, or is it something else? I think I
Mm-hmm.
found out if we pair just 1% of logic in trading with some kind of randomization, with just a little bit of logic. It shouldn't be like that. If price is breaking higher, or the trend is higher, you are selling, it will be against the logic. But
Mm-hmm.
if you just use, let's say, 10% logic, and pair it with the coin flip thing, still it turned out to be in my favor. So I
Nice.
think there I discovered this thing. If I just take one trade a day and pair it with just one or two trade ideas, whatever happens first, I just execute on it, then it can be the results can be in my favor. So here also I'm trying to do the same thing.
Nice. So you're basically using the law of large numbers, right? Because a coin flip is large numbers, and then if you pair that with, so basically it's 50-50, and if you pair that with
Yeah.
just making a little bit more on your winners than your losers, then you're profitable. So yeah, I could relate to that. I thought I was the only one who tried the coin flip because I've flipped coins hundreds of times,
Yeah.
to just test out different things and to explain concepts. So and I have to say my edge is about 50-50. So at best, I think the highest I ever got was 64% win rate. Last time I checked over a large number of trades.
Okay.
So it's almost to a coin flip. Usually it's closer to 51, 52%. So
Mhm.
on average, I'm losing one, winning one. So it all comes down to risk reward. It all comes down to making a little bit more on your winners than your losers, and
Yeah, that's
it'll
the
pay
cheat
off.
code basically, right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. So I'm glad you said you took a 1 hour loss. That's good. That means that it's easy for you to recover. Even if you do, if we're doing the coin flip, even if you were to do a 1.1 R, you're profitable in the long run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah,
So it is very small thing, but still very hard to follow this thing.
it
And
comes
for
down
me
to
also,
discipline.
I break my plan sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If I'm hitting like, let's say I took like 5 to 6 wins in a row, then after 6 wins, I might can be a little bit confident or overconfident, and
Hmm.
then I might can make some mistakes here and there. But the good thing is that I try to make that mistake which I can recover in upcoming
Recover from.
days. I should not, let's say if I'm risking like 0.9%, I'm not taking a risk more than 1%. So for an example, if I'm risking 0.7% and that day I took like 0.9%, so that small mistake is still recoverable. But
Yeah.
here on gold, that weekly candle is flipping now. So it means sellers can take over. So how you can plan for sells, I think below this trend line, anything below this trend line can be good. I will just leave my risk to reward tool, something like this. Yeah.
Since we were speaking on discipline and stuff like that, what I've done in the past, and maybe I'll come back to that, is I'll use a simulator to just test out ideas. So sometimes you have that itch, you really want to take the trade. And to
Yeah.
scratch the itch, I use a simulator. I take a trade in the simulator, and if it works, I'm like, "Oh, great, it would have worked." But more often than not, it doesn't. And then I'm like, "Man, I'm glad I didn't I didn't take this trade because the idea didn't work." So sometimes I'll use a simulator just to test out ideas.
Yeah,
Gold.
that is
Let's
a
go back
good
to
practice.
gold. What sucks is sometimes the trade works, and you're like, "Man, I should have taken it." But um, I've seen that it more often than not it doesn't work. So.
Yeah. For me also it's the same thing. Gold, anything below this trend line, as I mentioned, can be a good selling opportunity as we are flipping the weekly candle. But if it re-flips again, that will mean that we are trying to gain the momentum to the upside. So that can be a buying opportunity also above this area. So now these two areas, let me do it like this. This is a no trade range. So if below this, good. Above this, you can look for buying opportunities. So let's see what we get.
Indeed, indeed.
Quite
Uh,
difficult. Okay, I'll read it. Quite difficult to resist overtrading. It took years for me to get out of the mindset of that not trading every hour is a missed opportunity. Yeah, exactly. If you just focus on one good trade, following one trade idea, I think mentally also you will be in good place. Your PNL will also will look a little bit good. If you just, of course, some traders can perform better even after one or two losses. They can have the same plan and they can execute on it. Maybe their decision making is better than mine, but my decision making, I don't know, it is not good after one losing day. Of course, trade idea can be the same. Maybe I'm not built for that, so I'll just stick to my experience.
yep. Indeed, indeed. So Take Heat saying that happened to me on Friday, got me regretting paper trading instead of taking the trade. I don't think you should ever regret paper trading. I think that the positive aspect to it is that you're learning, right? You're testing out ideas, and then you can document that trade and reuse it in the future. I think you should just make the most of it because yeah, you scalped. I mean, you took the trade on paper, you didn't win, I mean, you won and you regret it, but what would have happened if you would have lost, right? Always look at both sides of the coin. I think the advantage with paper trading is that you can learn without paying the cost, whereas when you're trading, you're learning, but you're paying tuition as well if you lose. So I think paper trading is totally valid, especially these days that we have all the tools that we have, and you keep learning because I don't know about you guys, but we're all trying to do this for the long run. So, what's one paper trade? I mean, do you think 5 years from now you're going to remember that one paper trade you took on Friday where you didn't make whatever amount? I don't think so. But your brain will remember what you did. And I think paper trading is always valid. Now, I just want to quickly point out the setups that could have been taken this morning. This was a simple opening range breakdown that you could have
You have
taken.
to show your screen if you
Sorry.
want to. Yeah, now it's good.
There we go. So like you guys know, we like taking the opening range, and it played out pretty well, but on the short side, I was not able to catch that. But we tested the 50% area twice here. So one could have shorted on that retest right here, even though this was pretty strong. And then the other, you could have added on that breakdown, risking the prior levels. And then your target was pretty clean. You see how duplicating the opening range. I basically duplicated this level, moved it lower, and then that gave you that profit target. So this was a 2-to-1 trade right there, entering somewhere around here or maybe here and targeting the lower levels. Now we're retesting that 50% area and possibly, getting some follow through to the downside. So we want to find out, okay, are the shorts covering, and is this actually the pivot that we're going to flip from, or are we going to push lower? So all you have to do right now is watch two levels. If your bias is short, you want to watch this level and you want to watch this level, because these are your two possible entries. How would you enter this trade? Well, you pull back and then you retest this level, and as you start to curl back down, you could possibly enter here, risking either at this level if we form it lower or a little bit higher. The other thing you want to watch out for is, okay, if your bias is short again, do we continue to oscillate higher and retest those previous rejection areas? And this is where you would look to enter and go test lower, right? So just keep that in mind if you are in shorts. Now, if you're still looking for a long, you want to see, okay, can we hold this prior level? Are we going to sweep the lows again and push back to the upside? And even if we do push back to the upside, you want to keep these levels in mind, and because these are levels where we could flip from. All these are scalp setups, and since we've been talking about liquidity, we had what was a liquidity sweep this morning, where we closed below the previous level and pushed up to the upside before reverting back down. Why? Because there were probably a lot of sitting orders here that the big money got and pushed us higher. They probably covered here. That's why we had this huge engulfing candle on the 1-minute chart. So that is it. DZ Matt Ryan saying, you've been scalping, breaking even 4 consecutive times. So I'll let Samir give his point on breaking even, but I'm just gonna say my piece. I think, and we did a series recently about the seven levels of trading, and if I'm not mistaken, level 3 was you're a break even trader. I think breaking even is a great area to be at, because guess what? If you're breaking even, that means you have edge. And before risk management, and I think this is not said a lot, before risk management, before psychology, before anything else, you need to have edge in trading, because the best psychology and the best risk management is not going to save you from not having some type of edge. Like if you're not taking setups that have a higher probability over time of winning versus losing, I don't care how well you manage your risk. I don't care how well your psychology is, how stoic, how strong your mindset is. If you have zero edge, you're just not going to be profitable. because it will be totally random. So I think if you're breaking even, DZ Matt Ryan, I think that's a great place to be at, because that means you have some kind of edge. And then that edge just needs to be expressed in the market. For example, me, when the market is trending either upwards or downwards, man, it is easy for me to print money because I like trends. I'm good at taking trending trades, right? When the market ranges, that's where I bleed the most. I don't know what Samir thinks about breaking even, but I personally think it's a good place to be because it tells you have some
Mhm.
kind of edge.
Yes, definitely. It is a good thing. At least you are not losing the money. Now it just come to the optimization. And I
Yep.
think you can follow my practice, taking one trade a day. I think that should get you out of the break even stage because you are bound to take one trade a day. Your brain is some kind of rewiring, and you are thinking this way: I have to take one trade only, and I have to make sure it's the perfect setup. So your decision making will get better, I think, if you follow this practice. It is just my opinion. If you are taking more trades, and if your plan is like that, you can stick with your plan, but I think now it's the time you need to optimize few things here and there. Don't optimize or don't change your fundamentals, the way you look at charts, your habits, your execution method. You don't have to change that. You just have to change few things. Can be your behavior, can be maybe your stop loss size here and there, and what else it can be. Uh, I'll just come to the same point that I mentioned. Just start with one trade a day for at least 2 3 months. I think it will uh, get you out of the break even stage. Because I think yesterday only I was seeing the charts, and again this randomization I was doing, and I was seeing if price was closing bullish, bearish above the 200 EMA. I was just taking trades based on that, and it still ended up being in 5% profit at the end of the month.
Nice.
So that is very less of a logic that I'm using. Very simple thing, but I'm sure you are in the market for a decent amount of time. You know more than me actually. The things that I was testing yesterday, according to that thing. So your story can be a little bit more powerful. Now it just come to the thing where your decision making will get better. And I think if you comes to this thing one trade a day, automatically it will get better, your decision making, with time, of course.
Of course. And I think taking one trade makes you much more selective because okay, I have this one shot, so I need to like make it count. So I like it. I like it. Colin saying I'm with Samira. I'm done for the day. Well, that's it. I think it's totally fair to,
Yeah,
if you're
for me
not
also.
seeing it well, to wrap it up and come back tomorrow. The markets are not going anywhere, and the opportunities will be
Exactly.
there every single day. So yeah, awesome, 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 awesome there. Uh,
Exactly.
Shan Cram saying oil is rising. Yeah, I pulled up the chart here. We definitely saw. We have seen oil pushing higher. We're back to the 102s here. We are at least for the session, at the point of control. So this might be a pivot area where we push lower, and then we might see some recovery on the indices. We have been seeing some buying on the indices, so just keep that in mind. But oil is definitely pushing higher, and we all know why. This situation in the Middle East is continuing, so we'll
Technical
see.
side on oil, actually,
Mhm.
on the daily time frame, it is squeezing, and I think it is going to be a big breakout to the upside. If that happens, I'm just completely following technicals right now,
Yep.
and let's just keep the fundamentals aside for just 2 minutes. If it breaks out to the upside, I think then the situation is going to be more tensed on the fundamental side, I think. So I have noticed this. Technicals do follow fundamentals also sometimes, as
Yeah,
we are
definitely.
squeezing this pattern. I'm just technical guy right now, and I have noticed sometimes you see these kind of patterns, and once it breaks out, then some fundamental catalyst can give volume to the price. So it is just it can happen. There is a possibility. So I am keeping eye on gold. I'm sorry, on oil.
Oil.
Maybe I can take trade on this one because the analysis makes sense. Of course, not today. A swing trade type of thing on my. I have to load some money in a broker to play it this way. I don't
Yeah.
trade personal capital to be honest. I just rely on prop firms only. Just because I feel why to trade your own money when prop firms are there. We have companies like the Fivers giving you opportunity to use their funds to trade. Now it comes to the skill. So why to risk your own money? That's just my perspective, and I just trade you know uh, prop firms only. But this pattern is looking v- very good. Let me take a look at the weekly. Yeah, I think this will be the first time when we will be hitting the all-time highs on oil if that breakout happened.
Yeah, well,
Tricky
actually, all-time
situation,
high
but yeah,
for this particular period. But if you zoom out, back in 2022, we reached, at least on CL, we reached 130 on oil, and then if you zoom
yeah,
out even more,
exactly.
we reached around 100 and almost 150 back in 2008. So people need to keep in mind that yes, $100 oil is expensive, but if you zoom out, you will definitely see that it's possible to go higher. And I've heard, some people calling for 200 a barrel or 250 a barrel, which would that would be very expensive for me to put gas because it's already been rising a lot here. But it's entirely possible for us to see higher levels. And if it does form, I mean, on the technical side, this is looking more and more like a wedge, like Samir is showing it, where we could possibly break out
Mhm.
from. So if we
You
do
can
break
you can
out
even
that
look at oil this way. This was the falling wedge, and we
yep,
broke out of this, and there was some fundamental catalyst which just showed you the volume. So
yeah.
technicals are also aligning with the. Actually, first you saw the technical, and then there was fundamental.
It's like the technicals were saying that, hey, something's gonna
Yeah,
happen, right? We didn't know what it
yeah,
was gonna be,
exactly,
but something was gonna happen
exactly.
on oil. So sometimes the technicals align perfectly well with the fundamentals, and sometimes the technical even lead the fundamentals. So the technicals were screaming, saying, "Guys, something's going to happen with oil." We just didn't know what. Was it going to be
Now
the
also it is
aliens that were
screaming
going to
to.
land, or
Yeah,
or what? But yeah,
yeah.
we
Yeah,
were
now
we're
also it is giving some kind of information. Let's see if it breaks to the upside. There will be some fundamental thing going on, and at least this can be the area. Let's see how much percent it is. It is 18%. We haven't taken. I haven't taken a look at BTC. So it is just 62% away from the all-time highs. But right now, we are in the downtrend, making lower lows.
yeah.
At
Bitcoin
least
has
if we
been
didn't
pulling
broke
back.
that, that will not be good. Let's take a look at gold once again. Are we reflipping or we are regaining the area? Okay, it is still there. We are also at the end of our live stream, but closing analysis will be shorting below this. Will be entering? Not really. NAS trendline breakout retest. I think we can continue more lower. I will not be trading now. I will be looking at charts tomorrow. US 30 didn't get to this point. It's okay. So yeah, now let's see. I think there was a day where NAS 100 was good. But anyways, so yeah, that's it. And for the day,
Indeed.
gold, let's see, can be going to the downside, but we need that trendline breakout. That's it from technical point of view. Psychological, just follow the one trade a day idea. I think somewhere it keeps you balanced. I know it is
Yeah.
hard to follow, but try to do that for a month.
That's
Maybe
what I
it
was
can
gonna
give
say.
you, yeah,
Try to do it for 20 trading sessions. 20 trading sessions. That's one a month. That's 20 trades. Just it doesn't cost you anything. Just try for a month. See what it does for your trading. If it works out, great. You could keep doing, and if not, then go back to whatever you were doing before.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
all right. I'm taking this last comment from Shan Karamram. I think NQ will be back and forth until Nvidia earnings on Wednesday. A more decisive move on NQ will occur after Nvidia's earnings release. Yeah, I think Nvidia's earning release might definitely have an effect on the NQ. We can take a look quickly at what Nvidia's chart looks like on the weekly time frame. So this is the Nvidia chart. We've been pushing higher for the past few weeks. We're pulling back here. So do we need to, further push lower? We'll see what the earnings are. Estimate is 1.75 per share. So we'll see. We'll see what Nvidia does tomorrow. I'll have some insights for you on that in the Discord. Thank you, DZ Matt Ryan. God bless you all. It is 11 o'clock. Thank you so much, Samir, for your insights as usual. And I will see you tomorrow, and then we'll see Samir in a week.
Yes, thank you so much, guys,
All right.
for showing up, and thank you to the Fivers also for giving me this opportunity where I'm sharing my point of view, my lessons with you guys. So I'll see you next week, next to next week, basically next week. It will be Victor's Day, so I will
Yep.
not take a spot, but I will see you next to next week, guys. Thank you so much for coming here. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and I will see you again, as I mentioned, next to next week. With that being said, guys, thank you so much again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Dave will be here. So, yes, take care, guys.
I'll be here tomorrow, same time. Thank you, guys.